Wait, Pranay, are you recording this?
Yeah.
Yeah, all
All
right,
right,
cool.
cool. Let's go. All right, podcast back. So in today's podcast, we're gonna be talking about, I guess, the sports world as of 2020. It's been a crazy year, and I have two guests who would want to do an introduction. So, Christo, you want to start off? And
Yeah,
and what's the introduction? Yeah, of
uh,
yourself and like, I don't know, maybe your
sure.
favorite teams, I guess.
Hey, you already know. Hey, I'm Christo. I'm from the Bay Area, and although I was born in New York, and so my favorite football team is the Jets. Although because of my grandfather, my favorite basketball team is the Celtics. I'm also a Colts and a Raiders fan due to living in the Bay.
Kijowski.
Yeah, I'm Matthew. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm really a big Cubs and Broncos fan, and I just enjoy watching NBA in general.
All right,
That's the same with
cool.
me.
So I guess we should get started, and I think we should perfect time. Championship, like Eastern and Western Conference championships coming up. I think we should go into the NBA. And okay, let's start with you, Krista. So I guess what are your thoughts right now on the Heat Celtics matchup and the potential? I guess the Western Conference right now, because I guess the Nuggets came back, but yeah.
Dang, I mean, I honestly think the Eastern Conference Finals is going to be super intriguing just because of the styles of both teams. Like the Miami Heat have a very like intense, gritty culture, but they also have a lot of shooters that can knock down threes at like a phenomenal rate. Although the Celtics, on the other hand, my team, they have a lot of versatility and like multiple stars like Kemba Walker, Jason Tatum, and others who can score like 20 points a night. Although I feel like the X factor, as he was in the Toronto series, is going to be Marcus Smart. If
The
Marcus
best
Smart,
player in the NBA.
bro, if Marcus Smart can manage to play well and knock down threes at a good clip, then I think the Celtics are going to take this series. But I
The
mean,
most underrated player in the NBA. If I can make an all-time starting five right now, just like a 2020, I put Marcus Smart starting shooting guard because he's just such a glue guy.
in
Defensive
your
player of the year, the hustle plays. It's just like you can't. There's no other player like him, and that's why I love him so much. He's a one-of-a-kind player. Everyone wants someone like that on their team, and I feel like Marcus Smart is just the best example of what it means to be an NBA player. But Kijowski, what's your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I think this is gonna be a good series. Whoever's gonna win is probably gonna go to 6 or 7. But I'm taking the Celtics just because, like, the only reason the Heat, or one of the reasons why the Heat did so good was that Coach Budenholzer refused to make any adjustments. And now the Celtics coach, he's probably better. He can make adjustments, so that advantage is gonna be gone. And I think, like Krista said, the Celtics got multiple star players, not just Giannis. And Gordon Hayward is coming back from his injury, so it's going to be a well-balanced attack with Brown coming off the bench now. So I think it's going to be a
Brown's not coming off the bench.
Who would come off the bench? Is it Smart or Brown?
Smart.
yeah,
I think they should do is I think they should put Gordon on the bench since he's coming back because our bench isn't the best, so I feel like he'd just be a good spark on that. And he's coming back from injury, so I feel like he can get some good bench minutes.
no, yeah, I feel
It's
like
a good series. They have a lot of scorers.
Yeah, I agree with you. As a Celtics fan myself, I am picking the Celtics in okay. From a biased perspective in 4, but in a realistic perspective, I genuinely think it'll probably go Game 7 because just how different the teams are, different styles of play. It's kind of like with the Celtics. I feel like some nights they're like unstoppable, and then other times they're just inconsistent, and that's like the definition of Celtics. And with the Heat are more consistent, but when the Celtics are like real on their like you can't stop them when they're on their
Yeah, I think it's going to depend how Kemba does, because like if he does
Kemba. My bad. Go.
Now, if he shows up, they'll do good. But if he does some performances he did against Toronto, like he scored.
Oh, that was yeah.
Oh, that was he scored.
I mean, like, yeah. I don't even know.
I mean, yeah. I think that Kemba is an X factor.
Yeah, and I feel like because he had a top position guy like Lowry, Van Vliet, like the Toronto point guards are insane, and I feel like he'll at least have a better opportunity against like people like Goran Dragic who can just like cook easily, or like Kendrick Nunn, just people that aren't really as like good in a sense like guarding his like drives, like his like mid range step backs and like the one-handed layups.
Yeah,
I got a question for you, Pranay. I was reading it somewhere, but as a Celtics fan, would you rather have Kyrie or Kemba?
Kemba. That is not even close. You see, when we had Kyrie, we had a better team. We had a better team on. I don't know. It's a bit, maybe a little bit better, but better team with Kyrie. But the thing is, he's just like not in a sense. He is like selfish in the sense where like he sometimes just tries to do it on his own. And it's like because like Kemba's been struggling, but like he's still like not he's like trying to get everyone else in their group because he knows he's struggling. So he's trying to pass to pass to Tatum, pass to Brown. And the thing with Kyrie is that he would keep on trying to be the hero in a sense instead of being someone that could facilitate and someone that could run an offense, which is like Yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, yeah, I have to agree with Pranay, and as a fellow Celtics fan myself, I think he fits better for the chemistry. Like, he's just like he's like a go happy guy
Like
that can mesh easily with
I'd say Kyrie is probably the better player, but for like I feel like the fit matters more.
I mean,
especially in the team with those Celtics.
I
In
mean,
the playoffs, I would just rather have the better player.
Yeah, I feel like it depends. If it's like that's why like Kyrie is a better fit on the Nets or like some team like that because they're a worse team. They need players to rely on. But the Celtics have just so many weapons that it's better if we can have people that can like distribute and like that because I feel like Tatum and Brown are like emerging and like they need the ball and they need to because they're mainly ISO players.
They're gonna blossom into a lot. They're gonna blossom into stars in the future and in the series. I think they're a plus because they're gonna probably take advantage of Miami's wings.
Yeah.
Besides Jimmy Butler, of course.
Yeah. So what do you guys think in the West? We haven't really talked about that much. I didn't expect the Nuggets to come back. I did not. I thought the Clippers would. Yeah. No, not the Clippers. Yeah, the Clippers. I thought the Clippers would win after they're up 3. They were up 3-1, right?
Yeah.
And I thought they'd win like 3, but is it Game 7 now, right?
Yeah, Game 7.
Yeah. Against the night, baby.
I think the Clippers are still gonna win just because of the Kawhi clutchness. But like, what are your thoughts on that? And like, I mean, obviously, then the Lakers.
I don't know.
Lakers. Lakers won, right?
Yeah, 4-1.
Yeah. Okay, well then Lakers. Yeah. Okay, so then we start Nuggets and Clippers.
I think the Clippers are like the superior team, but like they have not been playing well at all recently. Like Montrezl Harrell has yet to get going, and in general, they've just been really spotty. So like, if they play like they've played in the last few games, I think the Nuggets can easily take Game 7.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I think that like if Paul George comes to play, if Montrezl Harrell, Lou Will, Pat Beverly, if all those guys come to play, and like I know the Clippers are like an extremely well-rounded team. They're definitely gonna take Game 7, but I mean that is if they come to play because the Nuggets would have their stars and Jamal Murray and Jokic, but I think it's gonna be all about the Clippers locking up at the defensive end.
And for me, like I personally want the Clippers to win just because I feel like a Lakers LA battle would be sick because I don't know, just like the history between those two teams. And then honestly, but that series has surprised me the most. I thought the Clippers would finish it easy, easier than they have. But I guess what you were saying?
If Clippers come to play, I think they could win and beat LA, the Lakers. But like I don't know if they're playing like they're playing right now. I think the Lakers can make the finals.
Really, most definitely. I honestly think that the series, like if the LA battle, if the Clippers are playing like they are now, then LA would make it quick, especially because they have like added rest. Like they have like a couple more days of rest. Meanwhile, the Clippers are going to be coming in off of Game 7. That'll probably be tough for them. So I bet the Lakers will probably take advantage of that.
But that leads perfectly into the segment. What do y'all think the finals matchup will be, and who do you think will win?
Finals. Should I go?
Yeah, start off.
All right, for sure. I mean, I honestly think, and I know what some people think, some people may disagree. However, I think it's going to be Celtics, Lakers, old-fashioned 80s battle.
Yes, that's actually my prediction too. And I think the Celtics will pull it off in 7, but that's probably just because I'm a little biased there. But yeah, no, I feel like Celtics, and I'll be set. And because what's the cool thing about that matchup is if the Lakers win, they tie the amount of championship that the Celtics have. But if the Celtics win, they increase their lead in the championships.
I think it's gonna be Clippers Celtics. I think the Clippers gonna come around and they have depth advantage over the Lakers, and it's gonna be a long series. And I think that's gonna become important.
Yeah, because honestly, there's no doubt in my mind that the Lakers have the most talented roster. I feel like in an overall sense, I feel like with Kawhi, Paul George, not a talent. I mean, probably like deep roster. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the Clippers definitely have the deepest roster, although the Lakers are like sort of like I don't know, like more
Lakers, actually, yeah, I don't even know, but
LeBron.
yeah, that's a Lakers Clippers series would be really good. That's what I'm saying. But yeah. All right, cool. Well, I think this is good enough for the NBA section, and let's transition to the NFL game. Week 1 started this week. Any initial thoughts that y'all had on? I guess you could say week 1 or just like the upcoming season.
I mean, like honestly, I was just very happy and also a little bit surprised with the way that Josh Jacobs played. I mean, he absolutely torched the Carolina D line and the secondary. He scored 3 touchdowns at like 400 something rushing yards, and he just managed to control the game. And I also had him on my fantasy team, but I think if he can continue to do that in the future, and then I think the Raiders are gonna be like a low-key threat to the Chiefs just because of like Josh Jacobs. That's probably my week 1 takeaway would be the rise of the running backs like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Josh Jacobs, all the running backs, Alvin Kamara,
especially the young ones. Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, they all just played phenomenally, and I can't wait to see how they play going into the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. One thing that I kind of like was the Seahawks. They became a lot more balanced. Like usually they run the ball all the time, but now I guess they passed it more than they ran it. And you saw the results. They kind of destroyed Atlanta. So like Russell Wilson with a balanced offense is going to be really scary.
Yeah. For me, who stood at my standouts were obviously Josh Allen, who I had on my fantasy team, on my leagues, and I feel like a lot of people are underrating him, and I just I feel like obviously the Jets aren't a very good team, but I feel like it was kind of a statement win, just like how much they won and how many touchdowns they got, and then I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire was probably in the entire NFL was just because he was a rookie. And I feel like he wasn't even meant honestly before the draft. I knew him from LSU, but I didn't know I didn't even think he would get picked first. I thought Swift would get picked first or I don't know, Jonathan Taylor. But he turned out to be a beast. Just his elusiveness, his sense of his I don't know, juke moves in a sense. And I feel like he was great. And a lot of these rookie receivers did pretty well, like Henry Ruggs.
What's his name? Who else? What was the guy on that got that 50-yard pass? Jalen Reagor. Yeah, and a lot of them just kind of stood out, which is it was interesting to see. At least because with the depth of the rookie class, but yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
I'm a little less high on Clyde than most people because you have to keep in mind that this was against Houston. He's the worst rushing defense in the league. It's even though he did good, I don't know. It's against a bad defense. So I don't know if it counts as much in my head.
No, yeah, I think it's a small sample size, but I mean, if he can perform on the Thursday night stage, I mean, he played really well. So I mean, I honestly think he's gonna.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to put it in perspective of the team that they're playing against, because if it's against a ranked 30 defense, obviously it's not going to be the same against the Steelers, the Ravens defense, or just any other team with a top ranked defense. But I think it's still impressive though, at least for a rookie, at least with coronavirus, how there wasn't really a big preseason or anything. So
yeah. Also, I was just wondering what your guys' take was, although the Rams-Cowboys game really intrigued me. I mean, I honestly thought the Cowboys were going to come out, new coach, sort of new players, new system, although they lost by a field goal. And frankly, the 2-minute drive was just awful. And the way they played just wasn't very good. I was just wondering, what was your guys' take on that? Because I didn't think they played very well.
Yeah, I think it was really confusing to me in the third quarter. They went for it on 4th down, despite they could have gotten a field goal. It's that would have tied the game up. But like I was watching the game, their defense was atrocious. Like they made absolutely no stop. They couldn't stop the run at all, which led to the play action. So like if the Cowboys want to go far, their defense has to improve. But then they've already lost Van Der Esch, who fractured his neck or something, and Sean Lee's hurt already. So like the injuries are already piling up. I think they had like 4 injuries yesterday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't there a pass interference call though that was or offensive pass interference that was like people said that was like that was kind of like robbed them of the game?
Yeah, it was the last play of the game, and Michael Gallup had like a 40-yard catch, but they called it back because Jalen Ramsey, or it was pass interference on Ramsey.
I honestly thought he sold that a little bit. Like, I mean, as a defensive back, his job is to sort of sell that, but he sold it. And I mean, I thought the call could have gone.
I mean, and that's respect on him, but I feel like especially like those type of things, like even the NBA, NFL, like I don't know if I'd rather have him replay it or let it how it lives, because I feel like if you replay, you can get an actual result, but then it's not like then it's kind of like it's not as exciting in a sense, or it's not like in the moment.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I think it's important to review that stuff at the same time. As we've seen in the NBA bubble, the reviews can slow the game down by a lot and sort of slow them.
And that the one play could have changed the entire outcome of the game. So like when you put it in that perspective, it's like,
exactly.
Yeah. All right. So I guess just now we should just go into like football prediction in a sense where it's like your teams that are like your sleeper teams, your teams that your Super Bowl prediction, and teams that people say are gonna do well, but you don't think so.
Oh, you wanna go first, Christo?
Dang, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, as a Jets fan, I'm a bit biased on the Jets. I mean, I just think they're gonna finish like 8-8. They're gonna do solid, but sleeper team I think is the Raiders. Honestly, I mean, even though Carolina doesn't have the greatest defense or offense besides Christian McCaffrey, I honestly think they're a sleeper team just because of the way they're, first of all, Josh Jacobs, and they have some sleeper wide receivers in Henry Ruggs. And even though they have a young secondary, I think their defense is very talented. And they do have the Chiefs to compete with in the division, but I think they could probably sneak into the wild card and maybe give some teams some trouble there.
Yeah.
I guess this is more of a bold prediction, but I don't think the 49ers will make the playoffs.
Ooh.
I think part of that's because they kind of got exposed. Their running kind of got exposed against Arizona, but also the fact that their division is so good because, like, the Seahawks are, I think they're my favorite still in the division now. The Rams are doing good, and then the Cardinals are doing good too. So, like, a tough divisional schedule, plus the fact that realistically every team can make the playoffs, is going to make it.
Honestly, for me, the Cardinals are my sleeper team. Like I don't know, just like they have so many weapons on offense, and the defense isn't like, it's not awful, but I feel like they can do some damage, maybe sneak in a wild card. But yeah, no, I feel like teams this year, since the coronavirus, like, and not everyone's like, I feel like this year there could be a lot more upsets. In a sense, because if it's like based on just like a few days of practice, but so what are you guys' thoughts on I guess teams that you think that like you're maybe even like the Super Bowl prediction or something like that, teams that you think are gonna do really well next year or this year, I mean.
I'm gonna go with Seattle versus the Ravens.
Nice.
Bruh.
That is birds.
Yeah, I like Seattle. I've talked about them a lot. They got a great offense and a great defense. I don't know. I like the Ravens. A cool stat is that every quarterback who won an MVP for the past 3 years has won the Super Bowl the next year. So, like, Brady won MVP, then he won the Super Bowl. Mahomes won the MVP, now he won the Super Bowl. So, like, could Jackson be next? They kind of showed up in week 1 versus the Browns. So, like, it's very possible.
Oh yeah, I mean the way the Ravens offense has been running as of like week 1, I honestly agree with you, Kijowski. I think they're gonna go to the Super Bowl just on the way that their offense has been running, and their defense is good too. Even though they got rid of Earl Thomas, their defense is still a pretty darn good unit. And then as for the NFC team, I mean, I don't think there's like any clear favorite, but I thought that the Packers really showed up in week 1 against the Vikings. I mean, the Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams connection is real. But then there's the Seahawks as well to contend with, who are running a very balanced offense under Pete Carroll. So I think it's going to be dang. Although then there's the Saints too. So I think it's going to be Ravens Packers as of now.
It's some bold predictions on it.
Yeah, I know. I'm going with I think the Packers are going to be a sleeper pick. Aaron Rodgers is a bit motivated because of Jordan Love too.
Yeah.
The Packers have an underrated defense. They have great offense, and the Vikings are a top 5 defense, and they just made them look really bad.
So my prediction is probably even bolder than that. I like what you're saying about the Ravens, but I think there are some flaws on that team, especially with how we saw Lamar played in the playoffs last year, and just like I guess not as much stardom in like a receiver in like the receiver category, and I feel like there's one team that's actually in their division that can upset them and take home the championship, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And like, give me a chance to explain. Give me a chance to explain. Give me a chance to explain. All right. So our defense, there's no question about it. We have number one ranked defense on fantasy, which is obviously number one, which obviously correlates to number one defense in the NFL. Even if we're not, then I guess number one, we're top 3, that's given.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact people don't realize that we were 8-5. We were 8-5 with backup QBs. Our defense carried us to 8-5, and then we had to get on our third string. Our offense gets old. But the fact that Ben's back and our offense is like, we have a great offensive line, we have great receivers, very good running backs. I feel like we don't have any flaws on our team. And there's like, I feel like if you look at a team like Baltimore or the Chiefs, like they have some flaws. You saw, the Chiefs defense isn't, is definitely not the best in the NFL. But I would say maybe not even crack the top 10. And you get the Ravens, receivers, not receivers, young quarterback, not really as much experience. And I feel like the fact that we have a lot of, experienced, and honestly, our defense, especially just like with the way it all really depends on Ben Roethlisberger, because like our defense is basically the same as last year. But if Ben can give us a stable quarterback that can actually like throw and open up the offense so we can run. And our offense is stacked. Like, we got Juju, Deontay Johnson, we got Eric Ebron, Vance McDonald. We have every position. We have Derek White. Every position we need, we have a great player. And I feel like, especially with how we do well against really good teams, that's like how we know how like our like, I guess, Prada. I feel like we could upset them. And then in my NFC, I'm taking the Saints because just with pure, I don't know, just the offense, defense, just I'll take them over Seattle in the playoffs. I feel like it'd be close, and especially I honestly thought it'd be the Buccaneers, but after the way that they played, I'm not 100% sure on that anymore.
Oh yeah, no Bucks. Everyone was so hyped in the Bucks. They're gonna be last year's Rams. Brady's washed. He's a system QB.
No,
yeah.
I think the Bucks are a bit overrated. I agree. I mean, the way they played is just, it was a bit. It really showed their true character, especially going on the road against a good Saints team that was gonna show their true character. And I guess that's what it is.
I don't think they're gonna be like a trash team, but I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs at all.
I think they're gonna make the playoffs, but I don't think they're gonna do well in the playoffs. I feel like they have a lot of pieces, but maybe it's the thing is like when you try to put so many pieces together and they just don't click. So I feel like maybe they need a few weeks to build up the chemistry. But I think they'll be nice. I just don't think they'll be as nice as like everyone expects. I feel like everyone expected them to be some like God team, like some like God squad or something like that.
Oh yeah, I honestly, I agree. I think they're gonna like make the wild card playoffs, and they'll bounce back. Honestly, they should have a great showing, but they'll bounce back hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't like predictions for like MVP and Rookie of the Year and stuff like
that. Okay, for like NBA and NFL.
Yeah, both, I guess.
Okay, for NBA,
Rookie of the year. That's kind of obvious. Who's not obvious? Well, John already got it.
Yeah, no. So NFL then.
Oh, rookie of the year. Ooh, I'm gonna take a risk on this one. I'm saying it's Chase Claypool, receiver at the Pittsburgh
No,
Steelers.
that's so biased.
I know
What?
it's biased, but I've just seen so much
Okay.
of his tape that I feel like he's gonna take the league by storm. Like his speed, his size. There's nothing that you could have better in a receiver that Chase Claypool doesn't have. But I guess the thing is with that, it's my biased perspective because like he's not the starting receiver or is not that. But I guess from a realistic perspective, I would say, I mean, I'm probably Chase Young. Honestly,
Who do you have winning the offensive rookie of the year?
oh, that's tough. Oh, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that's obvious, yeah.
I got Burrow because
Bro was
he basically won the game yesterday.
Yeah.
But
They should have made the field goal.
yeah,
That was
I don't
bad.
even think what happened then. That was so crazy. But winning your first game as a rookie quarterback is super hard. It hasn't been done since 2002, or by the number one overall pick. It's not been done since 2002. So the fact that he was poised enough to do it shows something about him.
I think he's gonna be great. I think he's gonna be great, but I feel bad for him because their offensive line and their defense is just not it. Like they have a great running back, great receivers, but other than that, I can't really see much positives in that team, which kind of sucks because I think Burrows was by far the best quarterback in that class. I think he's gonna have a good career. But yeah, no.
MVP.
Oh, MVP for me. Oh, I guess I think it's gonna be Patty again. The way he's playing, Patty. Yeah, I feel like he's just gonna repeat. But I do think I think comeback player of the year is gonna be Ben Roethlisberger,
Yeah.
and then by far, there's no any question about that. Coach of the year, Mike Tomlin, and I think that's all the awards. But yeah, Krista, what about you?
I mean, honestly, it shows that the past couple rookie of the years have either been a quarterback or a running back, and so I mean, I think the way Joe Burrow led his team yesterday was definitely reminiscent of a future leader. And given, I think I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow right now. However, if Clyde Edwards-Helaire can keep doing what he's doing at a very high and consistent level and play a key part in the Chiefs' hopeful return to the Super Bowl, then I think he'll win. But a dark horse candidate who I found out by watching Utah college football last year is Zach Moss.
Oh yeah.
He's a big.
I have him on my fantasy team. Yeah.
So do I.
50% of his tackles.
He's a big guy. I mean, he can, as Kijowski said, break tackles. We saw him catch a pass in the open field for a touchdown last week, and so I think we should look out for him. Although
Singletary isn't that good, so he could easily take over the lead back role and just eat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Although for my MVP prediction, yeah, I think it's gonna be either Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. It's probably gonna be a shootout. Whichever one can manage to. I mean, I think that Lamar has the advantage of being a more mobile quarterback, but it's also gonna come down to who can conjure up more touchdowns and passing yards.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Moss's stats yesterday. He went 9 carries for 11 yards.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I feel like the fact that he's back, he's a backup for Devin Singletary. I think it'll take him a year or two to develop. But I think he's gonna be a nice addition to the team.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna end it with two questions. So, first one, who is your fantasy sleeper that you want to tell these people to pick up? Maybe if it's on the waiver wire, maybe propose a trade. Yeah. So, Chris, let's start with you.
All right. Well, I'm actually just about to go and take a look at the fantasy teams, and I mean, of course, I'm sort of biased towards Zach Moss, but I think for receivers, I think that Paris Campbell could be a nice addition.
Yeah, with that Colts offense, it's
they have T.Y. Hilton and
Yeah.
a bunch of other solid receivers. He could be a sleeper to get some nice long yardage plays. And yesterday, he played pretty well, so he's my sleeper.
All right, Kijowski, what about you?
Yeah,
Defense
someone I
as well.
said this guy before the season, but Naeem Hines.
Ooh,
You were lucky, dude. You were lucky.
Marlon Mack, he went down with injury, and I would have expected Taylor to get most of the rushing work, but then Hines got the same amount of carries as Taylor, and he did good. And in addition, he's receiving back too, and Rivers loves his running backs, so that led him to score like 30-something points yesterday. And like,
How much did Taylor get? Did he get a lot?
no, let me look it up quickly. He got
I think that Hines got 27.2 points yesterday.
Yeah, Himes went off, but I'm not. Yeah,
Somebody
I
who-
have Taylor on my teams, but I gotta check.
Taylor got 12,
he got
which
12.
like isn't bad, but like when you could have gotten a Hines and like or picked him up as a free agent, that's just insane.
Yeah.
Oh, and my bench. Yeah. Honestly, I was upset about that. I actually my sleeper pick would have been Boston Scott because I started him in all my leagues yesterday. Because I thought he would pop off because he was a starting running back for the Eagles, and the last time he was starting running back, he had 35 points. But he kind of fell off. Not gonna lie. But my sleeper pick is Deontay Johnson, receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. No. I saw it. No, just the way that he played last year is just like he's such a speedy, shifty guy that's like a really good catcher, and he reminds me of Antonio Brown. And just the way that he was like basically our best receiver and he had the most receptions as a rookie with the quarterbacks that we had, and coming back this year with Ben. And that how lethal that offense is going to be, I feel like especially because Juju is going to be number one. Deontay Johnson, I think he's the number two. I'm pretty sure he is. So he's going to take a lot of the matchups against not as very good cornerbacks. I feel like Ben, a lot like usually for the Pittsburgh Steelers, our number two receivers usually end up doing a little bit better than number one receivers. So yeah, I'll take him over that. And honestly, let's go to the final question. And this question has nothing to do with sports, so you're going to have to come on the fly. What does the seventh dimension mean to you?
Dang. I know we did that in religion class last year. I sort of forgot what it was, but it's
It's not. Yeah, it's something that okay. So in my opinion, what the seventh dimension is, like, I guess the question is, what is your seventh dimension? I keep on forgetting that, but like, because in my opinion, seventh dimension is it could be a place, a person, a thing that you can like be comfortable around, be yourself around, be who you want to be yourself, not have any fear, or just live life in a sense. So, what is your seventh dimension?
dang. That's a very, I don't know, it's a very abstract concept. I'm still trying to understand, but I mean, dang, right now, seventh
It could be anything. It could literally just be like eating a banana. I don't even know.
And I guess like eating cinnamon toast crunch, maybe. That's it.
Yeah. Can I ask you what about you?
You know?
I don't know, watching TV maybe.
Watching TV, watching sports. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty comfortable.
Great thing. For me right now, it's about to be this Steelers Giants game, which I'm very, 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 very hyped for, and gonna bring out that. Oh wait! Look at this! Got my
Yo, Pranay, I gotta
terrible towel. Oh yeah, terrible towel ready, and
like it.
yeah. Look at this, nice. Bang, bang, bang. Let's go. All right, Kijowski left. All right, cool. We're gonna end this podcast. All right.
Cool.
All right. See you, Christo.
See you, Pranay, and see you later, viewers.
Peace.
That was good.
End meaning for all. Okay. All right, see you, Christo.
All right, see you, Pranay.